Before the year 1894, the automobile existed predominantly as an intriguing curiosity, a prohibitively expensive and meticulously handcrafted experiment accessible only to the most adventurous and affluent members of society. These early motor cars were not produced in any significant quantity. Rather, each vehicle was a unique creation, essentially a one-off prototype built with individual care and precision. The process was akin to bespoke tailoring, where every component was custom-made and fitted, making widespread ownership an impossible dream. This era was characterized by innovation, but also by exclusivity, with the motor car remaining a novelty, far removed from the practical transport solution it would eventually become. There was no blueprint for mass production, only the laborious assembly of individual inventions, pushing the boundaries of what was technologically possible, but limiting its reach drastically. The historical trajectory of the automobile underwent a fundamental and irreversible change with the introduction of the 1894 Benz motor velocipede, affectionately known as the Velo. This remarkable machine didn't just add another vehicle to the burgeoning landscape of automotive experimentation. It redefined what a car could be, and, crucially, how it could be brought to the public. The Benz Velo holds the indelible and critical distinction of being recognized as the world's first series production automobile. This pivotal achievement signaled a profound shift from individual craftsmanship to a more systematic approach, proving that motor cars could be replicated and distributed on a larger scale. It was a bold step that democratized the nascent automotive industry, moving it away from a collection of singular marvels towards a future of widespread accessibility. It was a bold step that democratized the nascent automotive industry, moving it away from a collection of singular marvels towards a future of widespread accessibility. Karl Benz, with his visionary insight, orchestrated a monumental transition for the motor car, evolving it from a bespoke novelty into a truly repeatable commercial product. This transformative leap was achieved through the implementation of standardized manufacturing processes, a concept that, while rudimentary by today's standards, was revolutionary for its time. Instead of building each car from scratch with unique parts, Benz introduced a system where components were interchangeable and assembly followed a consistent pattern. This enabled the production of approximately 1,200 units of the Velo, including its later comfortable variants, between 1894 and 1901. This scale of production was unprecedented and marked the true beginning of democratizing private motorized transport, laying the groundwork for the modern automotive industry we know today. Following the technical triumphs of his earlier, more substantial Victoria model, Karl Benz astutely recognized a crucial unmet need in the nascent market. He understood that for the automobile to truly flourish and transcend its status as an elite plaything, a radical shift in design philosophy was necessary. His vision was clear: to create a vehicle that was significantly smaller, considerably lighter, and, perhaps most importantly, drastically cheaper to produce and purchase. This strategic pivot was driven by the desire to appeal to a much broader demographic than just the ultra-wealthy. Benz aims to make the dream of personal motorized transport attainable for the burgeoning middle class, laying the financial groundwork for mass adoption and fundamentally altering the social landscape of travel. The Benz Velo was meticulously designed at Karl Benz's renowned works in Mannheim, Germany, and introduced to the public in 1894. The name itself, velocipede, was a stroke of marketing genius, deliberately chosen to create an immediate and favorable association with the hugely popular and rapidly expanding world of bicycles. At the time, velocipede was a common term for bicycles, and by linking his new motor car to this familiar and agile mode of transport, Benz cleverly implied the Velo's inherent qualities of lightness, maneuverability, and efficiency. This strategic nomenclature helped to bridge the gap between existing public perception of transport and the revolutionary concept of a motor vehicle, positioning it not as a daunting, complex machine, but as a practical, nimble utility vehicle that could truly transform daily life for many. The core of the Benz Velo's groundbreaking design was its calculated simplicity, particularly evident in its powertrain. At its heart lay a robust, rear-mounted, single-cylinder four-stroke engine, a marvel of engineering for its era. Initially displacing 1,045 cubic centimeters, this modest yet reliable power plant generated approximately 1.5 horsepower at a leisurely 450 revolutions per minute. While these figures may seem quaint by modern standards, they were more than sufficient to propel the lightweight Velo to a respectable top speed of roughly 12 miles per hour on flat terrain. This provided a practical and dependable means of personal transport. Later iterations of the Velo saw strategic power increases, with engines eventually producing up to 3 horsepower, enhancing its capability and appeal to a broader market seeking greater performance. Beyond its engine, the Benz Velo incorporated several innovative features that contributed to its practicality and manufacturing efficiency. Power transmission to the rear axle was managed through a straightforward 2-speed belt transmission system, an ingenious solution for the time that was later upgraded to a 3-speed configuration. This system was operated by a simple hand lever positioned conveniently next to the steering tiller, allowing for intuitive control. A defining characteristic of the Velo's chassis, which greatly contributed to its lightweight construction and overall performance, was the clever adaptation of wire-spoke wheels. These wheels, shod with solid rubber tires, were borrowed directly from established bicycle manufacturing technology. This integration not only reduced the vehicle's overall weight, but also leveraged proven production techniques, making the Velo more reliable and cost-effective to produce on a larger scale. The commercial success of the Benz Velo resonated profoundly throughout the nascent automotive industry. Its impressive sales figures were a clear indicator of a burgeoning demand for personal motorized transport, helping to catapult Benz & C to an unparalleled position as the world's largest automotive manufacturer by the turn of the century. This dominance was not without spirited competition. The Velo faced lively challenges from contemporary motorized tricycles, particularly those produced by pioneering firms like Dédian Bouton, which also offered lightweight and relatively affordable solutions. However, the Velo's inherent four-wheel stability provided a significant and often decisive advantage, offering a safer and more comfortable ride that resonated deeply with many early adopters who prioritized practicality and ease of use over the sometimes precarious nature of three-wheeled vehicles. The success of the Benz Velo left an indelible mark and carried profound implications for the automotive industry's future. It unequivocally proved that a viable economic market existed for automobiles, effectively silencing skeptics who viewed motor cars as nothing more than fleeting fads or expensive hobbies. By demonstrating the commercial feasibility of series production and selling in significant numbers, the Velo fundamentally shifted perception and investment. It solidified the notion that personal motorized transport was not just a pipe dream, but a tangible product with mass appeal and significant profit potential. This groundbreaking achievement paved the way for every single mass-produced car that followed, from the Model T to the modern electric vehicles of today, setting a precedent for affordability, accessibility, and the eventual ubiquity of the automobile. In essence, the 1894 Benz Velo stands as far more than just another early automobile. It represents a pivotal turning point in human history and technological progress. It was the vehicle that decisively transitioned the motor car from an exclusive, handcrafted curiosity into a repeatable, commercially viable product. Karl Benz's ingenuity in developing a standardized manufacturing process, even in its nascent form, allowed for the production of over 1,000 units, marking the true dawn of mass production in the automotive world. This revolutionary shift laid the essential groundwork for democratizing personal transport, transforming how people lived, worked, and traveled forever. The Benz Velo, therefore, secures its enduring place in history not just as a vehicle, but as the foundational artifact that initiated the automotive age, forever changing our relationship with mobility and making the